Burnley 1, West Ham 2. And we've already spent too long talking about this game.
Did you watch the game, Suj?
I did.
Was it good?
It was, I'll be polite, it was an average Burnley against an awful West Ham. Does that tell you everything you need to?
You had more of the ball than I thought you would.
I was surprised.
Burnley would completely dominate.
When we got to half-time, I think it was like 55-45, something like that, or it was just before half-time, 55-45. I was like, give them more of the ball. Surely give them more of the ball. I
love this idea. Just kick it to them.
Yeah, give them the ball and wait for the counter. But obviously, when you're losing Jared Bowen, you're losing one of your most potent weapons on the counter-attack, potentially. Danny Ings, I mean, most West Ham fans I've seen talking afterwards where we could have just left him at Burnley and said, here you go, here's a free gift with purchase. Wasn't what we need up front. He's lost his... I mean, he's never been particularly one to play on his own up front anyway. He's always been better, even when he was at Southampton, when he had Adams alongside him or whatever. Didn't provide much. West Ham just didn't do anything in the game, mate. They didn't do anything. There wasn't a single player that you stand out and say, he was good, or we did that well, or anything. It was just...
So how did you end up winning
average. I feel for Burnley in that they're just not good enough.
Two kudos crosses, essentially?
Yeah, they're just not good enough. Look, Mobama came on. Everyone's been crying out to get the kid minutes. He got minutes. And there was just a difference between his work rate. When you've got someone that's putting the runs in and trying to get the ball and make things happen, it raises everybody else around. So obviously his run in and then poor defending from Burnley on Kudus for the second one to give him too much space to put the ball in. And Souček finishes well. But absolute smash and grab, mate. Absolute smash and grab. There's nothing good to say about West Ham's performance.
I like Mubama running away like he scored.
Well, look, you've got to take it. Try, yeah? If it was you and me, we would try, mate. We would try,
Do you know what we wouldn't try? What Garnacho did.
No, that's true. I was trying to figure out which muscles in my body I would pull trying to do that. And I think it's all of them. Probably my hammies, my back, I'd pull parts of my body I wasn't even using trying to do that.
It's Michael Elise I feel sorry for.
But Burnley, on the other hand, they definitely, obviously, when Jay Rodriguez is starting up top, I was like, what is this, 2019 or something? What year are we in? There was only one player from Burnley that I thought, oh, you're all right. You'd be quite interesting. That was Kolyosho.
I knew you were going to say
Kolyosho. He was all right. He gave Soufal a tough time. But again, I wouldn't call him all fart, no poo, but he's
young. He's a bit erratic.
He needs levelling up. Willie, I think he will. I think he'll actually be a Premier League player. But other than that, there wasn't anything from Burnley that made me feel you're going to stay up or a threat here. They were bang average. They did really well against us, even because we played pony and we came and smashed and grabbed and took 3 points. And, yeah, ridiculous. I wouldn't be buying any West Ham assets. I mean, I say I wouldn't be buying any West Ham assets. Kudus is actually, look, he's chipping away. I meant to check before we recorded what his attacking returns are. So 2 goals, 3 assists.
Let's just say hypothetically Bowen is out for a little while. Is it just obvious just down to Kudus?
Depends, because you could go to Souček, right?
Yeah, sure.
He's the best number 10 in the league right now.
Because James Maddison is injured, yeah?
Well, he's playing number 10, Souček, in a weird sort of way. Like, the number of times he was further forward than Ings or a striker or whatever. And because he's got the players behind him in Ward-Prowse and Alvarez, he's kind of given like a free... He is Marouane Fellaini, but just Czech. And
Fellaini is a good comparison, yeah.
He's just everywhere, but he is playing far forward, getting in the box and causing chaos. We saw it against Forest where his XG was high, right, in that game. He scored again. If you want to save money, I don't mind people that want to go down to Souček instead of Kudus, but Kudus is a sideways move as well. And 2 goals, 3 assists. He's only started 5 games as well. It's not a bad return.
I take it you think this Souček position will stick at the moment?
Yeah, he's doing well in it. He's doing well and he's effective in it. I would just like to see Mubama play a striker ahead of him.
I mean, yeah, the data of the last 2 for Souček is very good. I think it's 4 attempts again at the weekend. On top, was it 6 against Forest?
Yeah, it was a lot.
So I might have this wrong, but I think it's 10 attempts, isn't it, over the last 2? Now they're 2 of the weaker teams in the league, so caveat that. But there are still some good fixtures to come for West Ham, I think. And it's not a terrible run anyway.
No, I think we'll do okay against Palace.
Palace at home, is it Tottenham
Spurs,
away?
Then Wolves, I think
Fulham, and then Manchester United at home in the blank week. And then I think maybe go to Arsenal Boxing Day-ish, is that right? Yeah. So people could dive in, particularly those I think on wildcard 19, still very reasonable.
You're not going to play him that often. So, but if you've got someone coming off the bench, Souček's up there.
If Bowen's out for a while, and Antonio we think is a couple of weeks maybe?
Yeah, it wasn't too long.
Could Mbamba start against Palace? If Bowen's out, what's the solution here? It probably is just play him, isn't it?
We'd all play him over Danny Ings.
Okay.
But
you ain't David Moyes.
David Moyes' comments after the press conference, in the press conference after the game, was just demoralised. He's like, I don't see many 19-year-old strikers in the Premier League because it's a very tough position and we still just wanted to work on getting better. And there's just not that many 19-year-old strikers in the Premier League for a reason. Because you don't give them a chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, how old's Ferguson at Brighton? 19, 20, he's given a chance, right? If you don't give him a chance, of course, there's not going to be any. So I don't have any faith in Moyes giving him a chance because I have no evidence of Moyes giving kids a chance other than the 6th game in the group stages of the Conference League, Europa League, when we've already qualified. He'll try out a team of the under-23.
So, all right, hypothetical then. Let's just run through this for a second and think about this. Let's say Bowen's out for a couple of weeks, hypothetically. If Ings then started on Thursday, would you think the boy Mbamba plays on Sunday?
No. I think he'd still play Ings.
So don't go to him is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Or
unless again,
don't go to him if you need him. Probably a better way of saying it.
Third sub, sure.
For Burnley, just briefly, the team is settled, and we should say that the narrative would be a bit different here if they defended 2 crosses better in the last 10 minutes of the game, right? They possibly get this first win. Now, the problem is they've obviously lost every home game. Now, the fixture run they've had of home games has been tough and terrible, but it's still unacceptable for any team in this league to lose 6 home games. They host Sheffield United this Saturday. If they lose it, there will be big questions get asked all of a sudden, I think, because that is now absolute must-win territory for them. Otherwise, it becomes a serious psychological problem for them, I think. And the big problem with them at the bottom, they play the best football of the teams down at the bottom. Certainly, let's say the bottom 4 at the moment in terms of on the eye. But they might be the weakest defensively. That's the problem. So they've got to start getting it right offensively. They're obviously unfortunate that Lyle Foster is absent at the moment. They've got to win that game against Sheffield United. I mean, if they lose to Sheffield United, they're 4 points behind Sheffield United, 5 behind Burnley, having lost every Luton, having lost every home game. And then, like I said, it becomes psychological.
7 in a row defeats is very difficult.
Massive game for them. Would you, in most cases, play a Charlie Taylor this week?
Yeah, I would.
Just because it's Sheffield United.
I think they'll beat Sheffield United.
I would be in agreement with that.